Hi, friends, channel, followers, whatever. So I got a surprising request a couple weeks ago to react to the Lady of Heaven trailer, which I didn't know what that was, but I looked it up and I guess it's a movie. I really know absolutely nothing about it, so this is going to be a blind reaction. And because my camera skills are pretty bad, my sister's going to help me record my reaction as well as the trailer. So I'm gonna just start out with like the first part here and let's see what's going on. Really matter.
The world is in shock as a group of terrorists has taken control of large areas of Syria and Iraq.
The world can be a cruel and dangerous place.
I assume that's the Lady of Heaven.
Remember, even if you're afraid, be strong.
First, like, going now. So in the first 20 seconds, I'm seeing a lot of shooting, narration, and honestly, something that bothers me about modern trailers is that you really don't understand anything from watching it. And I don't know what's happening. I'm just gonna go with like the woman who's speaking is his mother, who's the Lady of Heaven, but I have a feeling that's probably not actually true. But that's all I have to go on, and now there's a kid crying and people are dying. And again, I still don't know what this movie is about, so let's keep going.
Fatima, did your mother ever tell you the story of the Lady of Heaven? She was very special. Daughter to the Prophet Muhammad.
My time is near.
So that's who she
and
is.
afterwards, my lovely Fatima, you will face many trials.
With my father no longer here to lead us, evil is with those who will extinguish the light of truth.
Okay, guess I know who she is now. Full disclosure, I don't know why I was asked to react to this because I'm not Muslim. I'm actually Christian. So, while I'm definitely interested in learning more about the Muslim religion and history, I have never heard of this before, and I have read about Islam and their faith, and the name Fatima sounds familiar, but I've never heard this story. I've never heard that Muhammad had a daughter. So, I don't know. Is this a
You're gonna let a woman tell us what to do? We will burn her out!
Oh, brother.
God will judge all of you.
Well, that was interesting.
This world has become a breeding ground of violence. Shadow will be cast across many generations to come. It's said some people are so full of faith, they give strength to everyone around them.
The greatest thing in this life and the hereafter is the spreading of peace in the world.
Lady Fatima's goodness inspired people to stand up, no matter what the cost. Her legacy lives on.
Alright, so I'm looking it up, and it looks like it is based off a historical character. Yeah, I still don't know like anything else about this movie. I probably won't watch it when it comes out, honestly, because quite frankly, I don't even watch that many movies when they come out anyway. But, I'm not sure what reaction, like, I was supposed to have. To be honest, it's a movie about Islam and a historical figure in Islam, and while that's interested me from a historical perspective, it's a little bit weird as a Christian to have them talk about faith and truth and peace when Christians, have been killed and murdered and hurt by people who believe in radical Islam for several centuries and are still to this day being murdered by it. So if you want a controversial opinion, then as a Christian, to me, this is a little bit weird. I have studied Islam. I know that not all Islamic people believe in radical Islam and that you should take people's lives if they're infidels. But my issue is that if you look at the teachings in the actual Quran and in, what's the word for it? Okay, it's called the Hadith. According to Seeking Allah and Finding Jesus' companion book, disagreements on the body of canonical literature is what causes so many different varieties of Islam. Peaceful Islam focuses on certain parts of the Hadith and the Quran that encourage love and compassion. Other Muslims, such as terrorists in the Middle East, interpret the very violent parts of the Hadith as the ones that take precedence, and the violent sections of the Quran as the ones they ought to follow. To a certain extent, this is no different than certain Christian groups drawing on specific passages of the Bible to justify their own idiosyncratic beliefs. It's probably not the most politically correct opinion, but this book was written by a former Muslim who studied his faith, so I know that Islam actually means peace. And many of the teachings of Islam aren't ones I really disagree with. I really like their respect for God, especially in their attention to prayer. They're very disciplined, something I think that the modern Christian church could actually use a bit more of, especially in the West. But those violent passages are in there, and there are terrorist groups who act on them. And unfortunately, Muhammad, as far as we historically know, the best historical evidence, was one of the people who acted violently on it. What I was kind of interested in watching this was his daughter supposed to be in agreement with the violence, or was she in disagreement? Because that was kind of unclear. I mean, she was talking about the judgment of God, but then she's bemoaning that there's violence in the world, and there's bloodshed in the world. It's a bit odd. My biggest concern is that if this movie is not being made by Muslims or exclusively Muslims, they might be trying to sugarcoat it, because unfortunately movies made in the West have started doing that a lot and changing it, and that's true of Christianity as well as Islam and every other religion. I don't really trust Hollywood's take on religion now. I've never been satisfied with their take on Christianity, and so I wouldn't expect them to do great with Islam either. I have a feeling many Islamic people will actually be offended by this movie. And probably by the fact that it's being presented the way it is. You know, that it's being romanticized. Because just from the trailer, it looks like it's being romanticized. I don't think they're going to be very accurate, historically speaking. Though, if they were, it would also be kind of annoying because they never put that much effort into discovering the historical foundation for the Bible. And my question then is, why is Islam getting that kind of treatment but Christianity isn't? You know? My problem isn't with Islam itself in that case, it's the obvious bias. I honestly think that Hollywood is biased towards certain religions and not to others. And while I don't have an issue with portraying Muslims as human, respectable, decent people, as I'm sure many of them are, especially the ones who get here, I do have an issue with doing that to the exclusion of other religions. Particularly the Catholic and Christian church, which are often very stereotyped and very disrespected in media. Anyway, I'm not trying to make this about Christianity, but I mean, my honest reaction, my honest blind reaction is, why is this movie being made? You know, if it's to help people learn more about Islam, I don't have a problem with that. But if it's to make Islam look like something that in practical terms it's not. Because even if it's like portrayed in a very good light, it could still romanticize certain aspects that most Muslims don't actually agree with. You know? Especially since, like, to even act in this movie, like, I have a feeling breaks certain, like, Muslim rules. I mean, just, like, if the actress is, like, portrayed with her face uncovered, if she's portrayed wearing makeup, you know? I'm not saying that you can't do that in a movie. I'm just saying that if that is your religion, to not do that off camera, then it's your religion to not do it on camera either. It would be like a Christian movie having a sex scene in it. Christians don't do that. We're not supposed to anyway, and I've never liked Christian movies, quote unquote, that portrayed that stuff. I don't like them. I don't think that it should be in the movie if we're going to not promote that lifestyle in the church. So that would also be my concern, is just does it respect the religion it's actually portraying? Is it going to stick to those rules? That would make filming difficult, but are we saying that there's a line then? Like, does what happens on film not count as real life and breaking the rules? Because if it doesn't, then I mean, where is the line? What is the point? I don't apply that just to Islam. I've applied it to many things, actually. Like, I question why we have sex scenes in movies at all. Not that there will be one in this movie, but it's just the easiest example. Because it seems like those Albanian actors and actresses are married. Why are they having sex scenes with people they're not married to in movies? Because it's a movie that makes it okay. Just saying, I don't like it. There might be more thought than I should be giving this trailer. It's just that I've seen it too many times. I've seen it too many times where religion, any kind of religion, is not portrayed well. And I would be interested to find out what the Muslim take on this is. Maybe I'll look into it, I don't know. And whether they're, like, excited about this movie or they think that it's going to be a bastardization of their faith. You know? Because in that case, I can sympathize with their annoyance, as it's literally every movie with Christianity in it these days is annoying to me. You know, except maybe ones made by Christians, but even then. Alright, so that's my reaction. It looks like it may be an interesting story even so, but I think I'd rather read a book about it than watch the movie. I have a feeling that there's probably going to be a companion book with it anyway. So I guess that's all. I don't know why someone wanted me to react to this, because this is not a reaction channel, but I hope you liked it. That it wasn't too controversial for you. I'm trying to be respectful, but let's be honest, you know, like, this is not going to be like an easy movie for people to talk about. There's going to be so much controversy in it already, like, and I can't even imagine the backlash. Okay, we all know. All right, so I think that'll do it. I think we're good. And more sign videos are coming soon. Thank you for being patient with me. And I will see you next time.